Maybe you've never questioned the reality you're living in, but what if your entire life, the memories you cherish, the emotions that shape you, and even the beliefs you would fight to defend, was nothing more than an elaborate illusion created by your own mind? Imagine discovering that the truth you hold on to so tightly might just be a story you've unknowingly written for yourself. Take a moment right now. How much of your certainty about life is based purely on trust in your senses, your memory, your emotions? Have you ever considered that these very senses can deceive, memories can be rewritten, and emotions manipulated without you even realizing it? Picture your mind as a skilled magician, expertly crafting scenes, dialogues, and feelings that feel unquestionably real. But what happens when the curtain slips and you glimpse behind the scenes? Would you dare to confront the unsettling realization that you've been the creator and the audience of your own fictional drama all along? Carl Jung spent his life exploring a simple yet powerful truth, that the outer world you experience is always reflecting the hidden world inside you. Every fear, every doubt, every insecurity you encounter externally is merely mirroring something buried within your subconscious. Are you prepared to face what's hidden there? Ask yourself honestly, would you still trust the stories your mind tells if you realized that those stories were designed not to reveal the truth, but to protect you from it? What would happen if, for the first time, you questioned deeply, truly questioned everything you've ever believed? The real question isn't whether your reality is authentic. It's whether you're brave enough to confront the possibility that it never was. Your memories aren't as reliable as you believe. They're fragile, easily reshaped, quietly altered without your consent. Think about how many times you've argued fiercely with someone close about an event you both experienced, only to discover each of you recalls an entirely different version of what happened. Both of you feel absolutely certain, yet both can't be right. How unsettling is it to realize your reality isn't built on solid ground, but on the shifting sands of perception? Science confirms this uncomfortable truth. Researchers have demonstrated repeatedly that our memories aren't precise recordings. They're living narratives, constantly rewritten each time we recall them. In fact, countless experiments show people vividly remembering experiences that never occurred at all. Their minds, hungry for coherence and meaning, invented stories and then trusted those inventions completely. So ask yourself honestly, how many critical life choices have you made based on memories that were never even real? Consider Emily's story. As a child, she firmly believed her mother told her she had no artistic talent. Because of this one harsh memory, Emily distanced herself from anything creative, suppressing an urge to paint or draw. She spent years believing art wasn't for her. But decades later, during a casual conversation, her mother praised Emily's creative spirit warmly, shocking her. Emily discovered that her mother had never once criticized her art. Her entire identity, her avoidance of something she loved, had been based on a false memory her mind had quietly created and then stubbornly clung to. What if something similar has happened to you? How many opportunities, passions, or relationships have you sacrificed due to a memory that isn't even true? But the illusion doesn't stop there. You're convinced you're consciously directing your life, making deliberate choices about who you are, what you want, and what you do. Yet, neuroscience tells us something deeply disturbing. Your mind decides before you become consciously aware of making a choice. Like your phone suggesting ads based on subtle signals you've forgotten you gave, your brain is quietly deciding your path seconds before you recognize it. Scientist Benjamin Libet famously demonstrated this phenomenon, discovering that the brain chooses a course of action long before you consciously decide to follow it. Your sense of control, then, might be just an after-the-fact explanation, your conscious self merely catching up to choices already made. Take a moment to confront this truth. How often have you told yourself you're consciously choosing your life, when in reality, you might just be following a script written long before you became aware of it. And if your subconscious is quietly steering your decisions, then who or what is really living your life? Is it you, the conscious person you believe yourself to be, or is it something hidden, something deeper inside your mind, guiding you without your knowledge? This leads us to perhaps the most unsettling revelation of all. Your identity itself might just be an illusion. From the moment you entered this world, you've been handed labels. A name you didn't choose, a language someone else taught you, beliefs you've inherited without ever questioning why. Your identity, the thing you trust as unquestionably yours, is actually a collection of borrowed truths, a mask you've worn for so long you've forgotten what lies beneath. Think about how actors wear masks during a play, becoming their characters fully, night after night. If they perform long enough, they risk forgetting who they were before stepping onto that stage. In the same way, you've accepted labels and roles given to you by family, society, and circumstance. You've shaped your personality, desires, and fears based on these external definitions. But what remains when you take away your job title, your relationships, your cultural identity? Who are you beyond those carefully constructed roles? How many times have you introduced yourself using labels someone else gave you? You might say, I'm a teacher, I'm a parent, I'm an introvert, or I'm anxious. Each of these identities feels real to you, but each one was created by circumstances or societal expectations, not by your conscious choice. You've wrapped yourself tightly in these roles because they provide a sense of stability, security, belonging. But at what cost? Are you living your truth or just performing a role someone else assigned? Ask yourself directly, without hesitation. If you stripped away every label, every expectation placed upon you, if you woke up tomorrow without your job, your social status, or your cultural identity, who would you be? What would remain? Would you recognize yourself? This question isn't meant merely to unsettle. It's meant to awaken. The masks we wear, the identities we've adopted unconsciously, aren't simply hiding our true selves. They're preventing us from ever discovering who we genuinely are beneath them. The real danger isn't just losing yourself in the roles you play. It's never realizing you had a choice in the first place. You've trusted your memory without question. You've believed every thought passing through your mind is entirely yours. You've accepted identities and labels without asking why they were placed on you. And through it all, you've likely felt something quietly stirring beneath the surface, a subtle emptiness, a silent exhaustion, a longing for authenticity you've never allowed yourself to fully acknowledge. Your mind has built elaborate stories to keep you comfortable, safe, and compliant. It's hidden truths from you, smoothed out contradictions, and created a sense of continuity where there is none. But deep down, you know there's more. You're quietly aware that the stories you've accepted, the roles you've embraced, and the choices you think you've consciously made might not be yours at all. So now, with brutal honesty, confront yourself. Are you ready to question everything you've accepted as truth? Are you prepared to peel back the layers of your identity and face what's been hidden beneath for so long? Your memories, choices, identities, all of them can deceive. But perhaps in recognizing these illusions, you'll finally find the courage to discover who you truly are. Have you ever stopped to consider who you truly are beneath the endless chatter of your thoughts? You've spent your entire life identifying with the constant stream of words and images flowing through your mind, believing that these thoughts define you. But what if you're mistaken? What if you are not the thinker, but rather the silent witness observing every thought, every emotion, every sensation as it passes through your consciousness? Consider this powerful image. Your mind is like a movie screen, continuously projecting an endless stream of dramas, comedies, tragedies, and triumphs. Every day you sit in the theater of your consciousness, completely absorbed in the unfolding storyline. You laugh at the comedies, cry during the tragedies, and cheer at the victories, becoming so lost in the narrative that you forget it's only a film produced entirely by your own mind. You've been so engrossed in playing your part, so convinced by your role, that you've forgotten who you are beneath the performance. But what happens the moment you remember you're the audience, not the character? Think carefully about this. Every frustration, every heartbreak, every moment of anxiety or despair you've ever experienced was intensified because you believed it was deeply personal, directly tied to your identity. You became so attached to your role, the hero, the victim, the achiever, the outcast, that each scene felt intensely real, intensely personal. But ask yourself, if you step away from the role, if you realize you are merely watching these emotions unfold, can they still hold power over you? It's not easy to accept this truth because it challenges everything you've believed about yourself. You've spent years, perhaps decades, building an identity shaped by your thoughts and feelings. You've clung tightly to this identity because it provides meaning, security, familiarity. But beneath these layers of thought, behind the veil of your mind, something profound is quietly waiting to be discovered. The true self, the authentic you, is not trapped within the confines of your thoughts or emotions. It's something far deeper, quieter, and infinitely more profound. It is the pure awareness silently watching everything unfold. Can you imagine waking up from the story you've been trapped inside your entire life? Imagine the freedom of realizing that your identity isn't tied to the anxious thoughts that wake you at night, nor to the memories that haunt you from the past, nor to the expectations and pressures weighing heavily on your shoulders. Imagine understanding deeply and clearly that you are not your mind, not your emotions, not even your life story. You are simply and profoundly the awareness observing all these things. How would this realization change you? How would it free you? When you understand this, when you truly feel this insight in your bones, you become untethered from the narrative that's held you captive. You're no longer imprisoned by the limitations your thoughts imposed on you. You're no longer controlled by fleeting emotions, passing fears, or temporary disappointments. Instead, you begin to experience life from the perspective of the observer, detached yet fully present, peaceful yet deeply engaged. This shift doesn't numb you to life. Rather, it intensifies your experience, allowing you to feel more fully and more honestly than ever before, because now you're free from the illusion that your experiences define you. So, here's the most crucial and difficult question you'll ever face. Are you ready to let go of the role you've been playing for so long? Are you willing to drop the mask, step off the stage, and finally meet the silent observer who's always been there, patiently watching, quietly waiting to be acknowledged? This isn't a small decision. It means surrendering everything you've known, everything you've trusted about yourself. It requires profound courage to step into the unknown, to release the comfortable yet limiting identity you've built over the course of your life. But ask yourself honestly, isn't it exhausting to maintain the facade? Isn't it draining to continuously perform a role that never quite fits, never fully satisfies, never genuinely reflects who you truly are? When you finally step back into the observer's seat, you realize the drama, the conflicts, the anxieties. They're just scenes playing across the screen of your mind. They come and they go. They have no permanent power over you because you, the observer, remain untouched, unchanged, eternally present behind the curtain of the mind. At this very moment, you have a profound choice. You can remain locked within the familiar yet limiting confines of your old identity, or you can courageously awaken to the truth of who you are, beyond the illusion of thought. Are you ready to experience life from this liberating space of pure observation? Are you prepared to embrace the peace, clarity, and authenticity awaiting you the moment you recognize yourself as the silent witness rather than the constant thinker? Ultimately, the choice rests entirely with you. But remember this: the moment you choose to awaken from the illusion, everything changes. Not because the world around you transforms, but because you yourself have finally returned to the true seat of your being, aware, clear, and unshakably present. Are you ready now to discover who you truly are beneath the role you've always played? Maybe the ultimate truth about yourself doesn't lie within the stories you've memorized or the beliefs you've clung to. Perhaps the real truth waits quietly in everything you're willing to let go. You've spent your whole life holding tightly onto identities, memories, thoughts, each providing a comforting illusion of certainty. But have these things ever truly brought you lasting peace? Or have they simply kept you distracted from the deeper truth quietly existing beneath? Sometimes, all it takes to see clearly is a single moment of pause, one silent, courageous moment of observing without judgment, without expectation, without attachment. In that stillness, in that brief and powerful instant of letting go, you might finally glimpse your true self. The silent awareness that remains unchanging beneath all life's changing roles and circumstances. Who would you become if you embraced this simple yet profound awareness? What peace might unfold within you if you chose to stop chasing the next thought, the next identity, and simply observed your life unfolding before you? You've been wearing these masks for so long, performing your familiar role so convincingly, that you've nearly forgotten there is another way. But remember, even the most captivating performance must eventually end, leaving behind only the actor who was always present behind the mask. Are you ready to take off the costume and stand courageously before your own reflection? Are you prepared to meet yourself perhaps for the very first time, without any labels, roles, or expectations to hide behind? Take a moment now and imagine stepping fully into this quiet, peaceful space of pure awareness. How does it feel to release the heavy burden of constantly having to prove who you are? How freeing is it to know that beneath the stories, beneath the identities you've adopted, your true essence remains whole, unbroken, and quietly powerful? If you've ever felt, even for a brief moment, that reality might be hiding a deeper secret from you, that there is more to your existence than the roles you've accepted, I encourage you to share that experience in the comments below. Your story, no matter how small or subtle it might seem, could be the gentle nudge someone else desperately needs to awaken to their own inner truth. Because the journey toward awakening and self-discovery is never traveled alone. Your courage, your vulnerability, your willingness to share could be exactly what inspires another to begin their own profound path of transformation. You never know whose life your words might touch, or whose reality your story might forever alter. Are you ready to share your truth? Are you ready to be seen, not for who you've been told you should be, but for who you genuinely, quietly, and unconditionally are?